guys, it's Megan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video is another one of my makeup declutter videos. Today we're going to focus on blushes and bronzers. So I'm going to take you through all of the blushes and bronzers I have in my collection. We're going to get rid of some of them. We're going to pass some of them on to family and friends or throw them away, and we're going to keep some of them. So let's just get started and check out everything I've got in my collection. Alright, so we're going to start with blushes. These are the mini blushes that I have in my collection, and I also have a face palette that has, actually a couple of face palettes that have blushes in them, but I'm not going to include those because we're going to do a separate video for palettes as a whole. So I guess we'll just get started with this guy right here. This is the L'Oreal True Match blush. This is in the shade Baby Blossom, and it is a really pretty baby pink blush. I really love this. I love to use this on light blush days, and I'm definitely keeping this because it is one of my favorite blushes in my collection. Next we have the Too Faced Love Flush blush. This is in the shade Love Hangover, and it's in this really pretty peachy pink shade. I really like this for summertime. I find it is a really nice peach shade for most of my eye looks. It goes really well with a golden eye, and as you can see, I've got some gold eyeshadow that has come undone in my little storage area and got all over this guy, but I really love it. Definitely holding on to this because it's one of my favorites as well. Next I have one of the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes. This one is in the shade Fearless, and I love this blush so much. I used it all the freaking time when I first bought it. And this was actually the only blush I used for almost a year. But I've had this for like 3 years now, and it just is time to say goodbye because it is supposed to be finished in 12 months as it says right here, and I've had it way past that date. So I'm going to say goodbye to it, and if I miss it enough, I may repurchase it again. Next I have one of the Hourglass blushes. This one's in the shade Mood Exposure. It's a really pretty plummy blush, and I don't get a ton of use out of this. I may see if my mom would like it because I think that it would suit her really well, but I am also inclined to keep it just because it was so freaking expensive. And I do love this blush. I think it's really pretty and a beautiful quality, but it's just not a shade that I reach for very often. I'm not sure what I was thinking whenever I bought this one. Never mind the NARS blush. I thought that I had one, but I guess I must have gotten rid of it. Weird. Anyway, moving on. Next I have one of the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic blushes. This one's in the shade Love Glow, and this is my everyday blush, so most definitely not getting rid of it because it's so pretty. I love it a lot. It is a really pretty peachy corally pink, and I reach for this every day, so this one is definitely gonna stay. Promise I'm gonna get rid of some of these guys. I know I'm one for like 5 so far. But next is the Becca Beach Tint in Guava. This is a really pretty cream blush that I am trying to get used to. My skin is having a moment right now, so not really having the best skin days to use this guy yet, but whenever I am wearing lighter makeup, I think this is going to look really pretty, and I do intend to use it a lot during summertime. Just working my way up to it. Next I have the Milani Baked Blush in the shade Dolce Pink, and this is a really pretty drugstore blush. It is a kind of shimmery golden blush, and this is one that I think I'm actually going to get rid of. I never reach for it. I think it's pretty, but it doesn't show up that much on the skin, and I don't know, it just isn't what I want whenever I am applying blush, so I'm going to give it a better home somewhere else. And then my last blush is one of the Tarte Amazonian Clay blushes in Natural Beauty. This is a really kind of hot red pink, and I think this is such a pretty blush color. I am absolutely keeping it. I don't use it all that often right now just because I feel like my skin isn't good enough for such a bright, colorful blush, but I do intend to get more use out of this in the coming months whenever I get my skin under control, because I think it is such a pretty, bright blush. All right, we now are going to be talking about my bronzers and highlighters. I decided to throw the highlighters in there at the last second because 1, I realized I didn't have that many bronzers, and 2, I also realized I don't have that many highlighters. So I thought I would just put the two together and discuss all of them. I don't think that there's going to be much that I get rid of out of this section because, like I said, I don't have a ton to begin with. But let's get started with the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. This is a bronzer and highlighter palette, and I love both of these so freaking much. This is probably my favorite natural highlight ever, and this bronzer is what I use to contour whenever I do fancy a good contour, which is not very often, but I do use a little bit of a nose contour with this guy, so I do reach for this on a very regular basis. It stays in my everyday makeup drawer, so definitely keeping this guy. Next, I have a Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector, which, as you can see, I have a couple of. And this one is in the shade Opal, which is actually a bit too dark for me. This one I may try to give to my mom. I think she may enjoy it, and her skin is a little bit darker than mine, so I think it might suit her a little better. But it's a really pretty, cool-toned gold, I would say. And I really, really like it, but I have just seen it suit darker skin tones much better than fair skin tones, so I may see if she wants this guy, so I'll put it in the giveaway pile. Next, I have the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This is my everyday bronzer of the moment, and I love it a lot. This is the best drugstore bronzer you're ever going to find. It smells like coconut. It blends beautifully, it feels like butter, and I just love it so much. I would highly recommend this. My packaging sucks, but you know what? I will deal with it. But I really, really, really love this and would definitely recommend checking it out. And I'm also keeping it, for sure. Next, I've got the Rimmel London Natural Bronze, and this is a really nice drugstore bronzer. It is so dirt cheap. It is really, really good for the price, but I just don't have a reason to use it. I haven't reached for it in a really long time, and I think I've had it for over a year, so I'm probably just going to toss this one. But definitely check out Rimmel if you are on a budget and you need a good bronzer, because this stuff is pretty good. Next, I've got the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Poured Cream in Moonstone, and this is an awesome cream highlighter. I love it so much. It is so pretty. It suits my skin tone really well. It looks very, very natural, and I really, really love it. Like I have said multiple times before, Becca is the best for highlighters. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this. I really, really like it, and it's been one of my everyday favorites recently. Next, I have the Hourglass Bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light, and this bronzer is just so freaking pretty. I mean, what else is there to say? Just look at it. Hourglass's powders are just so beautiful, and this bronzer is so nice. I normally put this on top of the butter bronzer just to give what I have a little bit of oomph, and I really, really love it. It is one of those bronzers that can come on a little strong though, so definitely use a light hand, but I really, really, really love this one and would definitely recommend it. It is expensive, but bronzers last a long time, so I think it's worth it. And then last, but most definitely not least, we have the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed in Champagne Pop. I mean, what can I say about this? It is my favorite highlight on the planet. Jacqueline was working some real magic when she created this with Becca, and it is just beautiful. I love it so much. It is so pretty. It works well with every skin tone. I was actually in my most recent favorites video, so if you haven't seen that, check that out. But I love this so much. It is most definitely staying in my possession. And that is the end of my blush and bronzer declutter. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like down below. And if you're new here, please subscribe. My button to subscribe will be right here. And then right above here, I will put a link to the last makeup declutter video that I did in case you haven't seen it already. And then be sure to check the description box down below for all of the products that I have listed from this video, and also a link to my most recent video. So hope you guys have a great one, and I'll see you next time. Bye!